in today's session, well, first, the target audience for today is going to be owners, administrators, and office staff. In today's live class, we're going to schedule reoccurring visits. I'm going to show you how to modify a recurring series of visits on a patient's calendar, how to move a visit from one calendar day to a different day of the week. We're going to go into the batch entry of visits and the global calendar. I think everyone joined me yesterday. So in yesterday's live class, we were working with Jack Rabbit. He scheduled 2 frequencies on his admission. So let me switch over my screens, guys, and we'll go ahead and get started and log into Alora. Oops, guys, wrong database. Let's try this again. 1 second. There we go. There's going to be a few ways to get to a patient's calendar. One way is to go in to their admission. To do that, you would navigate over to the left-hand side and click on your patient tab. You may have this tab customized to client. Once you click on this tab, you're going to choose the middle, admission insurance and prior auth. This is going to show you all of your active admissions inside of your software. Open up that patient's admission. You're just going to click on the blue box with the blue pencil. Once you're inside of that patient's admission, you're going to navigate over to the right-hand window, the go-to window. You're going to go down until you see the Scheduler tab. Once you click on that, it's going to open up that patient's calendar for you to schedule visits in. We scheduled a single visit in yesterday's live class, and here it is. Now let me show you another way you can get to a patient's calendar. So I'm going to close this second tab. It should show me the main screen with the main tabs on the left-hand side. The other way you can go is on the left-hand side. Come to the Scheduling tab. Click on it and choose the first one that says Scheduler. I always like to give you guys tips and tricks and pointers. So if you come to this area, if this is the best way that you want to navigate to open up a patient's calendar, this screen will be blank. You're not inside of the patient's calendar, so it's not going to our patient's admission, so you're not going to see the calendar automatically appear. You have to select your patient in the patient drop-down box. Once you select that patient, it will then open up that patient's calendar. You can choose one or the other. So we encourage you, if you're scheduling visits, to stay on the patient's calendar. You won't be able to pick both. You can't look at a patient's calendar and a caregiver, one or the other. If you need to view a caregiver's calendar, you can click on your caregiver dropdown and choose which caregiver's calendar that you want to view. It'll take you out of that patient's calendar directly to that caregiver's calendar. We're going to go back over to Jack's calendar. inside of your patient's calendar. You're always going to know what payer that patient has. Under Jackrabbit, you see Medicare. We do offer on the upper right-hand corner a help video. When you click on this help video, there's two videos. How to schedule a single visit, which we did yesterday. Also, how to create recurring visits, and we're going to work on that today. But if you ever need to look at a video, they're going to be here, guys. We also offer a mini go-to calendar. So when you click on this orange go-to tab, if you're in any patient's calendar, you're going to have two tabs right here. You can go back to the patient's admission by clicking on the admission tab. I'm going to open up that second tab and take you back into that patient's admission. And the other one is the demographics. So if you want to go back into that demographics, you would click on the patient tab. And it's going to take you back to where we put Jack's information in yesterday. Open that chat box, guys. If you guys have any questions, of course, feel free to unmute or put something in that chat box. Now, in yesterday's live class, we talked about the tabs on the very top, and one of them was the frequency tab. We entered in the nursing and the home health aide frequency yesterday for Jack. I did mention that there is a link inside of the patient's calendar that will help your scheduler know what exactly to schedule in. So let's go back to Jack's calendar. And here it is. Right under the payer is the blue link that says View Frequency. So your scheduler or anyone can view the frequency from that frequency tab. I'm going to pull it in. Here's home health aide, and here is the nursing frequency. If you're working with Medicare patients and you completed their assessment, we're going to give you the LUPA information from that assessment when you click on this link. Jack doesn't have an assessment, but if he did, we would see the information right here. Right now, we're in a monthly view for Jack's calendar. If you want to change your view, you have lots of options. You can look at a 60-day certification period view by clicking on this button right here. You're going to choose if the patient has more than one cert period, you would choose that certification period in the dropdown. Jack only has one because we just admitted him yesterday. So I'm going to click on 10/11 to 12/9. It gives you the 60-day calendar view. If you'd like to switch back, you can click on your monthly view button. It'll take you back, guys. Below there is an arrow back and an arrow forward. If you need to look at previous visits that were done, maybe for the month of August, September, hit your back arrow. Jack doesn't have any visits, but if you did, you guys would see them. And if you want to go back to today's date, today's calendar date, you'll hit your today button right here. So it'll take you right back into October. Have your arrow forward if you want to see what visits were scheduled for future dates. Click forward on any calendar. Back to today's date when you're ready. Over to the right is week view. So if you wanted to look at just this week's work week and what's going on with this patient, you can click on the week button. If you want to be looking at just today and what's going on visit-wise, hit your day button. It'll take you to Thursday, October 12th. When you're on a calendar for a patient in a monthly view, you're going to see mini calendars over to the far right. When you view these mini calendars, when you see orange, that means something is going on for that day. So if we're looking on October 11th, we have a scheduled visit. That's why it's showing orange on this box right here. You can also go into these months and click on anything that you like over in this area, and it's going to take it to that calendar. Calendars for future months. In every patient's calendar, you will have this blue options button. When you click on that, you can print off your patient's calendar if you'd like, or your caregiver. You would just click on print calendar and customize the calendar before you print it off. Do you want the full month of October? Work week, pick your work week, the whole cert period, or do you want to pick your own date range? You can customize this calendar if you wanted to do a bigger font size. Maybe small is too small. You can customize your font size to that calendar too. Once you're done, you're going to hit the Run Report. There we go. So that's what the calendar looks like. So if you have a patient that wants to know who's going out there and the times, you can print off their calendar for them. Give it to them and leave it in the house. Now, this is one area that we don't open up a second tab. So if you actually were printing a calendar off, you're going to go up to the upper left-hand corner once you're done and hit your back arrow. Once you hit your back arrow, it's going to bring you back to the calendar, but we're not in Jack's admission. So now we have to find Jack in the drop-down box. If we were looking at his calendar inside of his admission, it would take us right back to Jack's calendar. We went a different way. We're going to click on that blue options button again. Our next report is the visit list. This would be a great report to run before you complete payroll. The visit list report will give you everything that's out there schedule-wise. If you want to make sure that your caregivers have completed their documentation before you start payroll, because remember, completed visits on the patient's calendar will pull to the payroll report. If they are not completed visits, they will not generate in that payroll report. So let's say I was doing payroll. I'm checking for visits from Sunday the 1st day. Checking all my caregivers. Now it defaults and it's going to tell you all visit statuses. But if you just want to run this report on not completed visits, it's a not completed. Lots of ways that you can customize this report as well. I won't go and bore you with all of these, guys. I'll just run the report to show you guys what it looks like. Once we hit run report, I only have one visit for Jack. If I had more than one visit, it's going to give me all that information on all of the visits that are scheduled. So if we're looking at this report together, it's giving me all the information, who the caregiver was, which is me right here, visit date, time that was scheduled, how many hours. So it gives you all of that information, but it also tells you that I have not completed my documentation yet. I encourage all agencies to run a visit list report to make sure all of those visits or documents from your caregivers are completed before you do payroll. This will tell you. To go back again, remember we're going to have to hit the back arrow and search for Jack in the drop down box again. Next one is delete all visits for selected patient and insurance. I always tell agencies, my live classes, be very careful with this one. This will indeed delete all future visits and previous visits that were completed. I would say you probably don't need to click on this unless you have a brand new patient and you're scheduling recurring series and maybe you're on the wrong patient's calendar and you want to delete the recurring series. Then you can delete all of these visits by clicking on this. It will delete all future and previous visits, so be very careful with this. Also, it's password protected. So once you click on delete all visits and hit continue, it's going to ask you to log in with your credentials. Once you log in your credentials, we're going to ask you twice. We give you 2 warnings. You are about to delete all visits on this patient's calendar. Are you sure? When you hit yes, we're going to ask you one more time, guys. Are you sure you're about to delete all the visits? You say yes, and those visits are gone. So I'm going to put no. Next, we have list all visits for agency. When you click on this, there is no way to disable that feature unless you don't give them access to the patient's calendar. Then they won't be able to edit this area at all, unfortunately. That's the only way that they wouldn't be able to click on that. Teddy. You're welcome. So list all visits for agency. This is going to tell you what's going on for the day. It's not pulling just from Jack's calendar. It's pulling all the visits on every patient's calendar for today's calendar date. So as you can see, I don't have anything on for Jack Rabbit, but I do for the patient Sunny Clouds. If you want to look at what's going on for tomorrow's date, these boxes can be changed. So you can change your calendar date and see what's going on for Friday. Who's going to see who? Right now, Minnie's just going out to see Black Bear. So it gives you kind of an overview on what's going on for the day. You can change your date. And it also gives you the total number of hours and visits on the bottom. Close, and we have one last one. List all visits for Jack Rabbit for this week. Because we're in Jack's calendar, that's why his name is appearing here. So once you click on that, we're going to let you know what's going on from Sunday to Saturday this week, and we just have one visit that we scheduled in yesterday. This area, you can change your calendar dates too, so you can look at what's going on for next week. Change your date. Don't have anything, but if we did, we would see stuff in here. 15 to the 21st. And you can even do like previous months. You can go back. You can customize this area too. How we doing, guys? Any other additional questions or concerns? Or if am I going too fast? I need to slow down. I have that chat box open, so let me know if I need to slow down or if you have any questions. All right, guys, let's go ahead and schedule in those two frequencies. Again, we have that view frequency right here. So if we're not sure what to schedule in, click on your view. We said, we'll start with the nurse. The nurse is going out there one time a week, starting the week of 10/15 and ending on 12/2. Okay, let's schedule it in. Let's say I'm the nurse. I'm going to go out there every Tuesday. Jack is fine with it. Let's schedule the recurring series in. You're going to click on the first visit that you need to schedule on that recurring series, the first day. So if it's for next week, I'm going to click on Tuesday the 17th calendar box. It opens up the appointment details. I'm going to find my name as the caregiver who's completing the visit in the drop down. What time am I going out there? Let's say that Jack wants me to go out there at 1 o'clock. So remember, when you schedule a visit onto any patient's calendar, it defaults to 8 a.m., but you can make changes to those times. So just click on the box, use your up and down arrow, and find the time that you need to change it to. You can manually change it, but just be very careful if it's not like perfect and you have an extra space. Let me show you guys because this happens a lot. So let's say that I want to manually change this to 1:30. And then I have an extra space. I'm going to put a space. I have two spaces there. When I click outside of the box, it doesn't like that. It defaults to today's date and time. So be very careful when you're manually changing times in this box. It has to be perfect or it's going to default to today's date and time. For the 12th, when we said 1 o'clock. Or I'm sorry, guys. We said how it defaults to today's date. I said that too, and I totally forgot. So I need to move it to the 17th, back to the 17th. So yeah, just be very careful. It's easy to miss if you're manually putting in a time and just going through it and not paying attention. Maybe that time's incorrect. So, all right, so we got the caregiver. We got the time the caregiver is going out there. So your billing codes come into play. What type of visit am I doing for Jack Rabbit? So he's Medicare. So for the agencies that are following along with me, you have your Medicare billing codes already set up in your software. So when you click on your drop-down box, let's say I'm an RN. I'm going to choose RN Direct Care right here. If you want to filter these billing codes, you can actually start typing in there. Filter out to find that. So for testing purposes, I'm not really a nurse, but we're pretending I am, RN Direct Care. Again, I have the caregiver who's doing the visit. I have my time. I have the type of visit the caregiver is doing. Now, I'm not going to save and close. If I were to save and close, I'm scheduling in just a single visit, and I don't want to do that. I want to set a recurring series. So once I'm done filling in these three boxes right here, I'm going to go up to the upper left-hand corner, and click on the Recurrence tab. Set that series. All the boxes below are grayed out because you have to select this first box. You have to say that this is a recurring appointment. So we're going to select this box, and the boxes below change and are ungrayed out. We know it's a weekly appointment. We said every Tuesday, so keep it on weekly and select your Tuesday box. Range of recurrence. When you set a recurring series, whatever day it may be, the first day that you schedule, the software is going to schedule it out for 60 days. So if you're looking on my screen, I have the visit scheduled all the way till December 15th. But remember, I put that the frequency ends the end of the week on 12/2. This box can be changed. You can make it sooner or extend it out. We're going to click on this box, and we're going to put the 12/2 in here and get rid of 12/15. That's it, guys. So again, we went to the first tab, filled in the caregiver, time the caregiver is going out there, what type of visit they're doing. Then we went up to the recurrence tab, selected the box. This is the recurring appointment. It's weekly, so we kept it where it was, and we chose Tuesday, and we changed the end by date. So now we're going to just save and close. Now, if you guys are following along and it says something in it, not an error, but like a little box, no frequency to ports this visit, just ignore it. It's pulling from your ID and alerts in your payer setup. Just hit OK.
Jackie,
Yes.
Since yesterday I had an issue with mine, and when I click on save, it told me I have a pop-up that says patient has been discharged.
Oh, you must have put a discharge date in then on the
Patient has
admission.
been discharged prior to the appointment date, cannot save. So how do I fix that?
Go to, if you're on your calendar right now, go to the orange go to right here on the upper right hand corner.
Okay.
And click on admission.
Yes.
Look at Jack's admission now.
You
have a date right here, a discharge date. Oops.
Oh,
right
yes,
here.
I do. Yes.
Take it out. Erase it.
Yeah. Okay.
Once you erase it, Marjorie, hit save on the button on the bottom. Hit that green save button to save those changes. And now go back to the calendar. So remember, go up to the very top and hit your orange go to on the upper right hand corner.
Okay. Yes.
And go all the way down until you see the scheduler tab.
Oh. Why is it's still showing up?
What's showing up?
The discharge date.
Did you hit the save button on the bottom?
Yes, I did. Okay, I took the date out. It's still showing up. Oh, I erased it. And then I took out the charge code. Okay, and then I hit save. But it's saying discharge code is required.
That means you still have a discharge date in there then. Something's still in there. It's pulling from there.
I erased it.
Double check, close your tab. Marjorie, close your admission.
Okay.
If this doesn't work, Marjorie, hang out with me after today's class and I'll take a look. But let's close your tab.
What's going on? Oh, what's going on?
I can't go.
I think she has, we're double checking to see if she has a discharge date in here because she's
Yeah,
not able to schedule any visits and saying the patient has been
I took it
discharged.
Okay, what would you like us to
out.
set the discharge date to?
That we don't, we're
If
not putting the short date.
nothing, we're going to leave that
Okay.
blank. Does she have anything in the discharge code?
No.
Okay. Save. Jodie, go to the bottom and hit the green save button.
Okay.
Mhm.
It says
Okay.
that discharge codes are required.
Hit your cancel button.
Yeah, let's hit cancel.
Marjorie, did you just put that in today when you were following along with me, or did you put that in yesterday?
Yesterday.
Oh wait, you know what? I
Okay.
think she didn't have a discharge date on her stream, but we did.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if she was, maybe you're playing around with it. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Is it working now?
Mm-mm.
there's already we already have a discharge date and code.
That's the thing. We don't need it.
Yeah,
So
I'm
go
not sure
back
why
in
they were
there.
there.
Go back into the admission, Jodie,
Admission? Okay.
That's where we were.
All right.
Oh,
and then
okay.
do you see, is it
The
in there?
discharge
Okay,
button
let's
is
change her to change it to admitted.
okay.
There we go. Good.
Yes, we got it.
All right, we got it.
That's big.
Perfect.
That's
Sorry,
because
it's
the
hard for me to
discharge.
help. Oh, okay. If I
Yeah,
can't see your screen, so I'm kind of like troubleshooting in my head.
yeah. Jackrabbit was on a discharged. We just had to click admitted.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
Oh, up here. Okay, gotcha. I was gonna have you check that next. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, guys. Let's go back. Let's go back to the scheduler. So now, Marjorie, you should be able to schedule in those recurring series.
Okay. Let me
But
go
that,
to the.
I'm great. Yeah, I'm grateful that these things happen, guys. So for everyone else that was following along with me, those are things that you would want to double check. So if you're not able to schedule in visits on a patient's calendar and it's telling you why, follow what it's telling you. Go back to the admission, make sure something wasn't clicked in by error. That way, that's why I really like how this happens because it really helps you with the software. So Marjorie, yep, you should be able to go back into the patient's calendar and schedule those recurring series.
Yes.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and schedule in the home health aid now. So again, if you're not sure the frequency, come up to the upper left-hand corner and click on your view frequency. Here we have the home health aid. We said that the aid is going out there times a week. Again, starting the week of 10/15 and ending on 12/2. All right, guys, let's schedule that in. So let's close our tab. Now, we're going to say that the home health aide, the nurse is going out. I'm going out on Tuesday. Let's say that the aide is going out there Monday and Friday. We're going to look on the calendar and we're going to schedule in the very first visit. So if it's starting next week, we're going to click on Monday the 16th. We're going to do the same thing, guys. We're going to find the caregiver who's doing the visit. I'm going to choose. And if you guys don't have any caregiver set up, just follow along with my screen because you're not going to be able to schedule unless you leave the caregiver box blank, which you can do. Let me just choose Donald. Donald is going out there to do the visits. Donald is going to go out there at 9 o'clock. So I'm going to change my 8 a.m. Make it 9. What type of visit is my home health aide doing? So this is, again, where your billing codes come into play. Hit your drop-down box. Here is, and it should be in your database as well, the home health aide Medicare visit. Remember, we don't want to save. If we save just this single visit, you're only scheduling one visit on that patient's calendar. We need to set a recurring series. So we're going to go back up to the top and click on our recurrence tab right here. Remember, we must select this is a recurring appointment. Select that box. It is weekly, so we're going to keep it on weekly, and we're going to choose the days, Monday and Friday. Range of recurrence, remember it sets it for 60 days. If you need to change the end by date, which we do, we need to make this 12/2 instead of 12/14. We're going to click on this box and change it. If you're done, you're going to save and close. Here we are, guys. There is the home health aid. And look at my mini calendars over to the right. Look how orange they're getting. These are all the visits that I've scheduled on. So it kind of helps you and lets you know on the future calendar dates or days that you have visits scheduled. How we doing, guys? Did anyone have any difficulties, any questions on setting those recurring series?
Shouldn't it be the same for the nurse as well, to show in the calendar that she's gonna be going to the patient every week?
Yeah, it should be.
You
It should go
can.
up when you select that caregiver.
Mhm.
I don't know how many caregivers you have set up, so if you just have one or if it's just Jodely, schedule whoever you'd like. It's just for testing purposes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys, let me show you a few things. So let's say the home health aide went out there for their very first visit, Donald. Donald let the office know that I spoke with Jack. We've decided that it's better for me to come out there a little bit earlier instead of 9 o'clock to help him get up and get dressed. So let me show you how to change a recurring series. So Donald already went out there on Monday, so I don't need to make any changes to that visit. But I need to make changes to all future visits for him. Change anything on a recurring series. You're going to go to the very first visit that you need to make changes to. In this case, I'm going to go to Friday the 20th. Now, to edit a visit, you're going to click on the visit line right here. If you click above it or below this line, you are scheduling another visit on to that day. So to edit, click on the black line right here and just left click. It's going to open up the appointment details. We need to change our times. So let's change it from 9 a.m. to 7. So I'm going to click on my appointment start time and go up because I need to find 7 a.m. 7. I want to change all future visits and not just this single one. So once I make changes to what I need to change, I'm going to go back up to the top and hit my recurrence tab. I'm going too fast, guys. I need to make changes to this appointment and all reoccurrences after that appointment. I don't want to keep it on this appointment only. If I did and saved and closed, it's just going to change that very single visit in that time. Take it off of that and choose the second one. This and all reoccurrences after this date. Then go to your bottom and save and close. That's all. That's how easy it is. So whether it's a billing code that's incorrect, a caregiver that you're switching out, you can change a recurring series. So if you're looking on my calendar, there's my time, 7 to 8. Oops, 7 to 8. And if I go to November, we are 7 to 8. Any questions on that, guys?
Jackie, can you go back to one more time the recurrence window to change the time? I just missed
I
it.
sure can. That's okay. So you're going to click on the very first visit that you need to make changes to. So
Right.
in this case, I clicked on the 20th. You're going to click on the line of the
Right.
visit. Change your, whatever you need to change, your time, if you want to
There.
change your time.
Okay.
Okay.
And then go to
Then go to the
recurrence.
recurrence. Take it off of this appointment only
Okay.
and make
Okay.
it, you want to make changes. There you go. And
Okay.
save and close. Perfect. I'm not going to do it again. I'm just going to close out of there. Did it work?
Yep.
Awesome. Very cool. Any other questions, guys, on that? All right. Now let's move a visit. So this may happen. Maybe the patient has a doctor's appointment or the caregiver can't see the patient on that day and the patient's fine with them going a different day. Let's move a visit. Let's say that Jack has a doctor's appointment on Friday the 20th. He needs Donald to go out there on Thursday instead. Super easy to move a single visit. Drag and drop. Take the visit that you need to move. Again, you have to click on the visit line, not above or below it. So left click with your mouse, drag it over to the correct day that you need to move it to, and drop it. Let go. Let go of your mouse. We give you options. Do you want to move the visit or clone it? We don't need to clone it and add another visit for that week. So we're going to choose move. We're going to open up the appointment details just in case you need to make additional changes. Maybe it's a different time, a different caregiver. So you do have the ability to make additional changes to that visit. Once you make those changes, or if no changes need to be made, you're then going to go to the bottom and save. Save and close. It moves that visit for you. All right, guys. Let's open up one of these visits. So click any visit that you want to click on. Edit it by clicking on the line. I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of information inside of the appointment details. When you edit a visit, you're going to notice a third tab that's going to appear, and it's the Visit Notes tab. When you click on that, again, if you're taking notes, we do not encourage anyone to add visits here. Remember, schedule those visits onto the patient's calendar. I'm sorry, the patient's calendar, and have your caregivers do it on the dashboard. These do not link to the calendar, and it will not mark the visits completed. But if you wanted to look at documentation for any disciplines for that patient, over to the right, you have little links. So if you were looking at your skilled nursing notes, your nurses did, you can click on skilled nursing visit note document. It's going to take you to that summary. If Jack had any notes, I would see them here. And then once you're done, you can just close. You do have the option to open up any documents when you edit a visit that's already been scheduled. Calendar. I'm going to just show you guys that. We'll go back over to the first tab. We also offer another mini go-to calendar. Here it is. When you click on that, you have options. You can go into that patient's admission, go into the caregiver's HR record, go back into the patient's demographics, do the plan of care document, view any orders and docs. So you have lots of options here that we have included inside of the appointment details. When you're inside of any visit, inside of the appointment details, you have little blue links. Everything that you see over to the left is going to be caregiver related. Everything that you see over to the right is going to be patient related. So if you have caregivers on care teams, you're going to be able to view all the caregivers that are on Jack's care team. So all visits for caregiver for this day. So if Donald was seeing other patients for home health aid visits, services, when you click on this link, it's going to show me who he's going out to see. The availability tab, if you plug in if a caregiver is available and what days and times, it will pull to this day and this time and let you know what caregivers are available for this visit. Region, remember we talked about region in the beginning of this week. You can tie in if you put the area where a patient lives inside of their admission in the region, and in the caregiver's HR record, you put where they are located as well. This region link will pull all of the caregivers that are in this patient's area. I don't have anything in there, but if I did, it would let me know what caregivers live where this patient lives or close by. And then you have your covered zip codes, which is pulling from your employee's HR record if you have certain caregivers that will only go and cover certain zip codes. To the right, patient related. Show all visits for patient for this day. So if Jack had multiple disciplines in, PT, OT, it would show me exactly who was going out to see him on the 19th. Google Maps to patient's home. If your nurses are kind of taking a look inside of the calendar and maybe they're lost and they're not sure how to get to the patient's home, they can click on this link and it's going to, once they allow their location on their device, it's going to take where they are and take them directly to the patient's home. I'm going to follow these directions. Very far away, guys. New frequency. We also offer this link inside of the appointment details. You can view that frequency again. If you're working with any patients that have authorization, when you plug in their authorization inside of their admission, we're going to let you know what you've scheduled and what you've used so far. Jack doesn't have any, so it should say no offbound. You have your visit status. Usually you'll never need to mark a visit completed. Remember, if your caregivers do their visits on the dashboard, we're going to automatically update that visit on the patient's calendar to completed status. But if a patient were to be on hold or hospitalized, canceled, if you need to do a single visit and change that status, you can. If a caregiver, if you give them the ability to go into a patient's calendar and let's say they miss a visit, they can change it to missed and do a missed visit note. The link is scheduled right here for them to for them to do their documentation. It opens up that missed visit note for them. Hit on not completed. Remember, if you're doing any miles, travel time, this is where you can plug that in. It will pull to the payroll report. I won't go into all of these, guys. But I will let you guys know we do have an audit trail. And it's on the bottom of every visit that you edit and open up. So if you think someone is messing with the visits and changing the codes, changing the caregiver, making changes to the appointment details of a visit, we're going to let you know who was in there last and the date and time. Your audit trail, and we also have an audit report you can run as well. Oh no, I need to fix my settings on this. This is a settings issue, so ignore that. All right, guys, I just kind of wanted to pop in here to make you more familiar inside of every patient's appointment. So we can close. We do have a color reference chart. So if we navigate all the way to the bottom of the calendar, here it is. When you see visits that are in not completed status, not completed means it will not pull to any claim that you generate, and it will not be included in payroll reporting. Green means it's good to go. If you see green, that means it will pull into payroll reporting, and it will be included on a claim that you generate. The rest are just placeholders. They don't go anywhere. So if a patient's on hold, you'll see orange, canceled, red, and so on. New feature that we've added into the software is gray color on assigned visits. So let's say that you're a scheduler and you're plugging in visits and you forget to assign the caregiver, which happens. So let me just click on any specific day. I'm not paying attention, or I don't know what caregiver is doing that visit yet, so I'm leaving the caregiver box blank. I know the time, we'll say 8 to 9. It's a home health aid visit for Medicare. I'm scheduling it into the patient's calendar, and then I'm going to save and close. We're going to let you know that you need to assign a caregiver to that visit. So when you see this gray unassigned, it's going to let you know, guys. All you have to do is edit it and assign a caregiver to that visit. Okay. Before we go into the next tab, which is the batch entry of visits, does anyone have any additional questions or concerns inside of the patient's calendar? All right. Oh, let me check that chat box again. I have it covered. Oh, Teddy, I'm so sorry I missed that. Is there a report for the audit trail? Yes, there is. So you can go to the reports tab right here. Once you click on the reports tab, you can actually filter in. Here you go. Filter in the box audit trail. Once you click on the audit trail report, you're going to fill out what you need to see and then run report. So if you want to see who deleted visits, keep it the way it is and then run reports. I don't think there's lots of ways that you can customize this report. Oh, there you go. I've deleted a lot of visits actually. I take that back. 32 pages, guys. Oh, great. Great. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, I love this report. You can customize any kind of documentation. If someone went back into their note and made changes, yeah, go to the audit trail and customize that report to take a look. Great question. All right, guys, we're going to go back over to the left-hand side. We're going to move away from Jack's calendar for just a little bit.
Jackie,
Yes.
in my billing codes, I'm looking at yours. You say you have RN direct care Medicare. So mine are abbreviated, but on the side it says Oasis Direct Care. This is for Medicare, right?
Yes, that's the Oasis Direct Medicare billing code. So that's a different billing code. The RN Direct, you have that on the recurring series, the Oasis one instead of RN Direct?
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay it's just for testing right now. But yeah, you always want to make sure you have the correct billing code because the Oasis would just be the assessment. So you're not going to do assessment 2 times a week. It's just going to be that initial assessment, research, and so on, so on. But yeah, I mean, it can be fixed. You can change your billing code. And, you know, if you want to work out as your homework, do the recurrence and change your series and change your billing code. You can change it. You just pick the wrong code. That's all.
So I have to go to show billing code. Okay. All right. I see what you mean. So I go to
Yes, inside of, uh-huh.
the BCA something.
Do you see
Yes,
your
this is
RN? Okay.
direct care Medicare. Mine doesn't say that.
Well, it's pulling from your settings too. So if you're not technically a caregiver, so there's a couple areas that it's probably not going to show. You're probably not a caregiver. So what is it showing when you hit your billing code drop down?
No, I have a bunch, but they have RN Research Oasis, RN Research Oasis Direct Care, ORC, SOC, Oasis, but I don't have a specific one like for that says Direct Care Medicare.
You type in the filter box, just type in RN.
Mhm.
Is it your first one on the top? It might not say Medicare. It might just say RN Direct.
Yeah, RN Direct, yes.
Okay, yep, that's the one. I think the database changed a little bit. So if you guys are seeing Medicare on mine, I don't think you're going to see that on yours. I think the developers changed it when the database when adding those billing codes in. So that's the one right there you want to choose, RN Direct.
Okay.
Great.
All right, thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, guys, let me just close out of here. So now let's go over to the left-hand side, and we're going to click on the scheduling tab right here. And now we're going to choose batch entry of visits, this tab right here. Now this is a gray area. You can do many things inside of the batch entry tab. You can change visits in a status. So if a patient were to be placed on hold, maybe they went to the hospital, you can actually come to this area, find those visits, and change them in a batch status. You can delete visits in a batch here. And you can also add a single visit. So I'm going to show you guys how easy this is and how it works. When you come to the batch entry of visits, you first need to find the patient and the visits that you need to change. So we're going to work on the top. We can bypass the caregiver. I'm just going to look for Jack Rabbit. So in the patient drop-down box, I have my correct one. I need to get rid of the other one from last week. I found my patient. And let's say that we need to, guys, put Jack on hold for next week. Let's say the doctor called, something, whatever happened. He wants the visits to be on hold for the week of the 15th. So let's find those visits here together. On your From Calendar box, we're going to find visits starting on Sunday the 15th. So go ahead and click on the 15th to the end of the week. So in the Through box, we're going to choose Saturday the 21st. We're going to hit the blue Find button right here. So once we hit Find, here's our visits for next week below. They're in the Not Completed status. If I need to change them to On Hold, for easy, guys, you're going to see above the blue box right here with the white plus sign. There is a box that you can select right here. Once you select this box, we're going to select the visits below for you. We need to change these from not completed to hold. So now we're going to go to the bottom of the screen and go to our action area. Hit your drop-down box that says Mark Selected Visit As and choose On Hold. These visits on hold for next week. Once you select it, then hit your Apply button right here, this green button. They're changed, but they aren't updated on the patient's calendar yet because we have not hit the Save button. We do let you know, guys, up on the top, these are pending changes. please save the changes to apply. So if you forget to hit save on the bottom and you just hit apply and you go somewhere else in the software on the left-hand side, it does not save your changes on the patient's calendar. You have to hit the save button on the bottom. So we're going to hit the green save button right here. And then you'll see visit successfully saved. It's going to pop up super quick because I have my mouse over it. It's staying there. But if I didn't, it goes away super quick. Now let's go back to Jack's calendar to make sure that next week's visits are in orange and on hold. So let's go back on the left-hand side and hit the scheduling tab. Then choose scheduler. Remember, this area will be blank. You have to search for the patient in the patient drop-down box. Find Jack. There, guys. I've put those visits next week on hold. If you're not sure what orange means, remember you have your color reference chart on the very bottom. Let's go back over to the batch entry again. I'll show you guys how to delete visits in the batch. So again, you're going to work from the top, find the patient in the patient dropdown. What visits do you need to delete on the patient's calendar? Let's choose the first week of November. So in our from box, let's do the 29th, guys. October 29th, which is Sunday the 29th, the end of the week. November 4th. Now remember, we must hit find in order for those visits to appear below. And here they are. You can individually select all your visits, or you can check this box right here, which will check mark the visits below. We're not changing the status of these visits. We're actually deleting them. So we can ignore the action area. The only thing that we have to do is hit our red delete button right here. Once you click on delete, Alora is going to say, are you sure? You select yes. Visits are deleted. So if we go back over to Jack's calendar again from the scheduler tab, we should see starting Sunday the 29th, there's no visits, and they're gone, guys. The very last thing I'm going to show you guys in the batch entry is to schedule a single visit in this area. So let's go back over to the batch entry of visits. And this is what your middle boxes are for right here. This is to schedule a single visit onto any patient's calendar. You're going to choose the caregiver who's doing the visit, what patient's calendar you want to add it, what day, back on Monday the 30th, what time, at 7, so let me find 7. What type of visit am I doing, or are they doing? Home health aid, Medicare, and that's it, unless you're doing miles and all that stuff. Then you're going to click, once you're done filling in the boxes that you need to fill out, you're then going to hit your white plus sign, the blue box right here with the white plus sign. Here is your single visit that you're scheduling onto the patient's calendar. Remember, these are pending changes. Please save. So you have to save on the bottom. Green save button. Visit save. So let's go back one last time, guys, I promise, to the patient's calendar. You guys are going to be pros at going through the scheduling tab because I've been there so many times. So on the left-hand side, it's going to be scheduling, scheduler, and then find your patient in that patient drop-down box. There's Jack. And I should have a single visit on Monday the 30th. There we go. Batch entry, just an overview again. You can change statuses in a batch, delete visits in a batch, and add a single visit onto any patient's calendar. Before I leave and take us to the very last tab, I'll get you guys out of here in just a few minutes. Do we have any questions at all on the batch entry of visits tab?
Quick question.
All right. Oh, sure.
I tried creating the singular visit with the batch entry like you just showed. I and I'm looking at Monday the 30th and it's not showing up, even though I just made it with the batch entry.
Hit the save button.
Yeah, I hit the
They're,
save button.
they're all in red. I don't know why. Maybe
They're all in red.
Yeah.
Let me refresh. Okay, I'm gonna try it again real quick.
Yeah, try it again. Go back to your batch entry
Start date,
and then hit the caregiver,
30th.
which I'm sure you know.
Start time,
7.
7 a.m. Billing code, I'll just put it.
I think it is saved as unassigned, so it is grayed out somewhere else. I did the same thing, and I just realized since there is no caregiver, and it is grayed out somewhere else.
Oh, so maybe you forgot to select a caregiver.
Right. So
Oh. Uh, so maybe.
Okay, I put a caregiver.
Oh, there we go.
Don't
Oh, I
forget to
forgot
hit
to
your
hit the
plus
plus
sign.
button.
I was just thinking that. I'm like, well, maybe you forgot to hit the plus sign because you have to see the actual visit saying not completed and saved.
There we go.
Yep.
I see it there.
So,
I forgot to hit the plus button. That's all.
yay!
Okay,
We
sorry about
just
that.
thought of that together too. No, you don't have to apologize. This is an interactive class, so never apologize for that. We can be on for 3 hours if you'd like. I'm sure some people can't stay that long, but it's an interactive class, so never apologize about that.
Okay.
All right, guys. You're very welcome. Let's go to the very last tab, and I promise it's just going to take a minute or two. So let's go to the left-hand side and click on your global calendar from the scheduling tab, of course. Circle. There we go. So what this area is, it gives you a global view of every patient's calendar and who is scheduled to that patient, the dates and the times. So you don't have to go into each patient's calendar individually. Come to the global calendar. It gives you everything that you need to know. I will let you know when you click on this, it's going to default to this week's work week. So if you look on the top, the from and through boxes are for this week, 10/8 to 10/14. These can be changed. You can look up to a 30-day calendar view of the global area. You can't go past 30 days. So if you wanted to extend it, you can. Lots of cool features in here. So if you guys are looking at my screen, I have a couple patients. I need to get rid of Jack. So ignore Jack here twice, guys, and I do apologize. I have Black Bear, Sunny Clouds, and Jack Rabbit. There's my 3 patients. It's giving me a view on what's going on for this week's work week. Minnie's going out to see Black Bear Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Donald is seeing Sunny Clouds on Tuesday, Thursday. So it gives you that view. I love this area. If you guys are hiring on a scheduling person, they can work in this area all day. You can customize this. If you wanted to look at just one patient, just one caregiver's calendar, lots of ways that you can customize. If you wanted to look at any unassigned visits only in the global calendar and you pick your date, Let's change this to a 30-day view, guys. So right now we're on 10/8. So change your through box, and I know you guys just had Jackrabbit, but let's just do it to the end of the month. Send it out just a little bit. So we're going to do it till 10/31, and then you'll have to apply filter. So this blue button, and now it's going to show me, move this chat up. There we go. Now it's going to show me everything that's going on from 10/8 to 10/31. Now you do have to move this toolbar to view everything. But here's all my visits, guys, from now until the end of the month. If you need to make any changes, and we have the color reference chart too, which is great. So let's say if we're looking at Jackrabbit, we need to change a visit. We need to open up the appointment details. You can actually change it right here, guys, and it's pretty cool. So all you need to do is click on the box of the day that you need to make changes. So let's say, pick any box you like, guys. I'm just going to go with Monday the 16th. Let's say that I need to change this time. Mine saying, I'm on a different patient's calendar, keep in mind. Mine saying that the home health aide is going out 10 to 11. Let's say I need to make changes on that time. I don't have to go back to the patient's calendar. I'm just going to click on this box, guys, and it's going to open up the appointment details. I can make changes to the caregiver, the time, the billing code. So let's say the caregiver is going out at 1 instead of 10. Time, and then save and close. And there we go. Here's my time change. So the global calendar just helps you if you have a bunch of patients, a bunch of referrals, you don't know who's seeing who, come over to the global calendar. It will give you everything that you need to know, and you can make changes to any visits. You can edit any visits and make changes. All right, guys. And you can even change your discipline. So if you wanted to look at just what's going on for the home health aides in your discipline box, choose home health aide and apply your filter. I'm going to take my nursing visits out. It's going to show me all the visits for the home health aide. Looking at one particular discipline, you can be specific and change it and apply your filters. All right, guys, that was it. Do we have any questions or concerns on the global calendar or anything else that I went over in today's live class? Get done a little bit earlier, guys, today than the past few days.
I have a question.
I don't. Oh,
I have a
perfect.
question.
Yes,
My screen is different from your screen, so I wasn't able. If I click on scheduling, nothing comes up. So, and I don't have your screen looks different.
Right
Yeah,
here?
right here. Yes, when on my screen, when I click, nothing comes up. So, and my screen is different from your screen. So, for instance, the things that you have on the top, like well, let me take an example, medication profile, things like that. I don't have none of these on my screen at all. So I have a feeling that I'm missing. Like the top of your screen here that I'm looking, it's different from mine. Mine don't have nothing at all.
Right.
So when I
what
click
that
on
would mean
scheduling,
is,
excuse me?
when you click on scheduling, does anything show in a drop-down box? So Blandine,
Nothing.
when you click on schedule, so
Nothing.
I would assume that you do not have access to that area. So remember, everything pulls from your settings. So whoever created your user security manager, and that's a great question, guys. So if you're not seeing something that you should be seeing, come over Now you have to have full access to the software to have the admin tab. So if it's
Okay.
something that's, I forgot, is it Laxman that's with you, or am I saying that?
I don't
Yes.
I don't have I cannot click any I just can click I can see the dashboard. I can see the patient. When I click on patient, some like things like patient demographic will come
Yeah.
up. When I click on
That's,
scheduling, nothing. So I wasn't able to
yeah.
really do nothing. So, and when I go on the
So,
clinical, I'm able to see stuff.
yep.
But the
Yep.
scheduling, nothing. So,
Right. So
yeah.
that's what it is. So now what Blandine is saying, guys, is that she doesn't have access to some of these tabs right here. So remember, in Monday's live class, under the Admin User Security Manager, that is the creation of any caregiver's login credentials. When you're inside, this is where you can give access to that caregiver, the security role. So Blandine, it sounds like if you're looking at my screen, this area, you have no access to some of the tabs on the left-hand side.
I don't
So
have
if your
any, I don't
admin
have
wants,
billing. Yep.
right, so if your admin wants to make changes, then they can make changes to your security role. Right now it's set for you to not see some of these areas, and that can be changed if your admin feels that you need to view those tabs on the left-hand side. So that's where all that's pulling from.
Okay.
Blending, I'm checking right
That's
now.
what it is.
So yeah, we just created the
perfect.
IDs and then we don't have the full-fledged access yet.
Mhm.
I'm just saving some and you should have it in few seconds.
Perfect.
Yep.
Teamwork. I love it. So yes,
Mm.
once Laxman fixes your changes, Laxman, go to the bottom. Once you're done, of course, save. And then I would encourage you to log off. Once you log off, Blandine, go ahead and
Yep.
log off to the software too and log back on, and you should see those new tabs that you're going to be able to go into.
Okay.
Again, I'm grateful that these things happen, guys, because you're going to know what to do. So if you have a nurse that says, I can't access the patient's admissions, I can go in there, there's nothing there, or I can't even edit, I can't open these. That's because something is in their settings that you have view only or no access to. So that's where you can go to their login credentials and make those changes. So I'm glad this happened, even though it's probably stressful for you, Blandine, but you can always look at my screen.
Yeah, I was able to follow on your screen. Yeah, now,
Perfect.
yes, now I am able to see a scheduler, batch entry of visits,
Yeah, you just
global
have to let me know,
calendar.
Blending.
Okay. All right.
Teamwork. I love it, guys.
All
I
right.
absolutely
Sure.
love it. Great job, guys.
Okay. Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Laxman.
Sure.
You're very
Yeah, I
welcome.
did not know. I am still learning, so I just
Yep.
That's okay.
you know, I was on
You guys
learning
all
too.
are.
I
Yeah.
think that's what messed
That's
me
why you're
yesterday.
with me, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what messed me yesterday. I wasn't sure. I'm like, okay, it's not working, or my logins, everything
Aw.
just messed up. But
Yeah.
I'm fine. I can see now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Perfect. You're
Thank you, Brandon. Yeah.
welcome.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Does anyone have any additional questions, concerns?
Yeah,
I
Jackie,
will
couple
let
of
you
quick
guys know.
questions.
Sure. Yes, Teddy.
Yeah, first on the color coding, is that pretty standard? Or is that something we can customize?
It's standard. There's nothing that you can customize. Sorry.
Okay. I can put my favorite colors in there, huh? All right, the next
Then
one.
we would have to change everyone's software.
Yeah. So how far can you schedule basically? Is it like a year, quarter, 6 months?
You can schedule out as far as you want to.
Okay. There's no
Let me
limitation.
take that back. A year. I know you can schedule out to a full year. Try it.
Okay.
Just
I'll
try
do
something,
that.
guys.
And
I'm going to try it right now and see.
Okay.
Yeah, but I thought like wasn't that the 60 days?
This is for like maybe you're seeing a private pay patient and they're paying out of pocket, and maybe you're just putting visits on for the full year, so you have them on there. It's different for like your Medicare patients and any other payer. So this could be just a different like private pay. So let's see, guys. The recurring series. Let's do.
At least you got their, no, yearly is the recurrence, so that's probably not it.
Let me schedule out past. That's past 1 year. So
It's one
maybe
year.
it's not going to let me, guys. Hold on. Yeah, let me do the 19th. Yeah. So it actually it's only a year because look, when I put,
Mhm.
here, let me try this again, guys. Go to. See how it defaults? It's not letting me. So the answer to that question is 1 year.
All right,
see how
that's,
it's
I
not
think, long
changing?
enough, right? So that should be fine. Yeah.
I think a year is pretty good, right?
Yeah, that should be more than enough. And then when it comes to say reporting, if I want to see the daily schedule or weekly or monthly, where should I go?
For one patient, you want to see what's going on?
I'd like to see it
one
for
caregiver?
all, not by patient. Pretty much for
Probably the
everyone.
visit list.
Yeah.
Probably do the visit list. And do all of your caregivers. Let me see. Take out the patient. Do all of your caregivers. So if you want to choose your dates on what's
Let's
going
do
on
it
for like
for a
the
week,
week
say
or
for
something.
example.
So let's say the 15th to the end of the week. We've got all caregivers. And see what we got. I would say the visit list would be the best report to run. You can run that report for many reasons. Just take me. Hold on. So this might be a good report to run. I'm doing 10:51. I gotta think about that. I think you should be able to do 30 days if you wanted to look at a whole view. Now you got me thinking about this one. I would say the visit list. Would there be a reason why you want to view a whole month instead of like a week or 2 weeks?
Yeah, just for a purpose, I'd like to say, for example, how many hours I'm expecting, from maybe revenue or payroll perspective.
Let me see first. I leave it on all. Let me leave it on all. There's so many ways that you can customize. This help. It kind of customizes it to the patient. So
Yeah,
it
it's
does it for
summarizing
each
it by
patient.
patient, so there's might be something, or maybe there's some standard report out there that might be available too. And
This may
okay,
work
so
with,
this format looks like, what is it, a PDF? Can you download it via Excel or?
you can. So if you see on the right-hand side, there's lots of ways that you can export this out. You have options right here to a spreadsheet, but it's going to give you the total number of hours too on the bottom, and the
Right, which is
total number
good.
of visits too. Yeah.
If you have different services, are you able to sort it out by service code or something? Assuming you have different
You
rates
mean
for
right
those and
here?
everything.
These billing codes right here, you mean?
Okay,
I
yeah,
can't
yeah,
even
yeah. So
highlight
that
it.
would
These,
work. But then you need to
um,
download and probably work a little bit in it. So
I think you can customize it. Let me go back to it. Oops, I don't want that one. Let's try it. So visit list. I almost did print calendar again. Let's do All. And do it by, group it by caregiver. Group it
Oh,
by
so your
discipline.
option there is only you can group it by caregiver or client, right?
Caregiver, clients, but you can do disciplines right here. So if you wanted to choose a specific discipline,
Okay. Okay. But that would
let's
be
see,
just the
home health
filter,
aid.
right?
Oh,
Will
say
it
that again, I'm
filter it
sorry.
or will that
Yeah, it's gonna
filter it if
filter it.
you select something in there?
Yep. So it's gonna
Okay.
filter all of the home health aids. So let me just try it.
Yeah.
And run report. Yep. There's all your home health aids. Yep. There's lots of ways, and you can test around with this if you have Jackrabbit to go into the reports area. Test around. There's so many features, especially with this report that you can customize. So you can do it by discipline, by billing codes. Yep, you can.
Yeah. All right. I'll play around. Thanks.
You're very welcome. So for tomorrow, guys, we're going to be working one more time. Oh, no worries, Laxman. Thanks for joining me. For tomorrow, let me just go back really quick. I'm going to let everyone know I am starting tomorrow exactly at 3. I'll get you guys out of here by 4. But for tomorrow's session, it won't be long, guys. It'll be 45 minutes to an hour. We're going to go back into Jackrabbit's chart, and we're going to talk about these menu items on the right-hand side. All right, guys.
Thank you, Jackie. See you tomorrow.
Thank you,
You're very
Jackie.
welcome. You're welcome. I will see everyone back here tomorrow at 3 o'clock. If
Yep.
you're late,
Bye.
no worries. I'll admit you in.
Thank
Sounds
you,
good. Thank you.
Jackie.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
You're
Have a good
welcome.
rest of your day.
You too. Thanks for joining me.